Because MasterChef started, 2009? Right? Somewhere around there.
Good question. Yeah.
Now, okay, I'm sure there was other people out there who could have done what you did, and why you? And I'm not being facetious.
Still a good question.
Why did they choose you to be one of the judges?
I got a phone call, go and audition. I got to the audition. There was hundreds of chefs.
And sorry, can I go back? Obviously, you were probably on you were shortlisted because best new restaurant, chef of the year,
a bit of that,
a couple of things happening.
Credibility,
So you were
a
bubbling
little bit
there.
of television, nothing, mate, nothing.
You did Ready Steady Cook, I think, at the time, right?
Bit of daytime television, nothing,
Yeah.
nothing nothing of wow.
Yeah.
And I remember getting the call, and I remember going home and I'm going to Natalie, I've been asked to do this show called, audition for this show called MasterChef. Do you know what it is? She goes, yeah, I watched the UK one.
Oh, right, yep.
Okay. I jumped on and watched the UK one, and I was like, oh my God, Nat, how do you watch this? Like it's meant for the UK market, and I get it. It's and the guys that are on it do an incredible job. But I go, it's definitely not me. It's not my style. But anyway, I'll go to the audition. And I got to the audition. I'll never forget walking in, and there was some incredible chefs there. A lot of my peers, a lot of amazing chefs. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm never going to get a look in here. Yeah. Anyway, did the first audition. They said, George would like you to keep staying. Waited around, chatted to a couple of chefs. I'm like, right, go in for another audition. And they kept moving us around with different trios.
Yeah.
And Gary I knew, because Gary, he employed me when I was at Sofitel. Right. He was the executive sous chef. Matt Preston I knew because he would review the restaurant. He was a food journalist. And then suddenly they've pieced us together. And then that was it. All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll be in contact. All right, here's what it is. Go. Yeah. And I remember we just opened Hellenic Republic in Brunswick, so I was busy.
Which was a great restaurant. I really loved that restaurant. Every time I do a show at Abruzzo Club, which was just down the road, I'd make sure that I get there early, do my sound check, go, have something. I think you had this one dish. I remember. I think we had blue cheese, and it was just fantastic.
Thank you.
Whatever, I can't remember what it was. It was just I'm going there. It was just for that anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And so great restaurant.
And I remember there, we had just opened it. It was just chaos. You know, we're just, it was bursting at the seams, people everywhere. I never forget, a mate of mine rang me up at about 4 o'clock. I can remember this vividly, going, hey, GC, I was just at an auction around the corner from Hellenic, and the auctioneer is using Hellenic Republic as their, leverage point, I go, it's great. How cool is that? Felt really good about myself. And then 30 minutes later, I get a phone call saying, we'd love you to come up to Sydney. We're really serious about you potentially being part of MasterChef. Yeah. What? And that was the day that it all changed.
That really changed your everything for you. Tell us about that. Tell us what happened then. I mean, obviously, you got famous. You made a bit more money. But what else changed for you?
I think, in a way, like obviously, it was hard going because I was now based out of Sydney Monday to Friday. Jump on a plane, race back, spend 2 days at the restaurants. Race back, and it was full on. Like I worked my ringer off, like absolutely ran. But I think George never changed. I think because I've always been taught that humility and mind in the clouds, feet on the ground type of scenario. But no one prepares you for it. No one prepares you for it because you feel good about yourself. Suddenly, the first year of MasterChef, highest rating show in Australian history. The I think series 3 finale. It was during elections and they had the debate on. They had to move the debate because MasterChef was going to be on. I mean. And then obviously from MasterChef it started to spill out globally. Yeah. So I remember my first visit to India. Yeah. And I got off the plane and there's just people. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then we're filming, Gary and I are filming in Delhi, a piece to camera for something. And then suddenly there's 50 people, then there's 100, then there's 1,000. There's just swarms of people. At that point, we had the Australian, the Australian Federal Police that are based in Mumbai. Yep. They were just our liaison. Yeah. Suddenly they've gone into protection mode. Yeah, right. It was just madness.
Yeah.
Like no one prepares you for this shit.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, you answered one of my questions, is where did you get recognised when you go overseas? Because we got syndicated to how many countries?
About 120.
That's a lot, yeah.
I was just in Amsterdam just now, and even though I was finished on the show 3 years ago, you know, you're walking down the street and bang, you know.
No, people recognise you. You've got a recognisable face.
You know, it's bloody beautiful. You know, and I never, there's one thing I'm so, probably there was one day where I'm angry with myself. When people are nice and they want to say hello, I always stop.
Yeah.
I just had this thing in my head. I need to make sure I make effort because they didn't choose me to be on television.
Yeah.
I put myself on in that position.
Yeah, sure.
So you got to deal with it. Obviously, people with respect. If you're going to be a dickhead, I'll shut you down very quickly.
Yeah.
But good people, nice people.
Yeah.
I reckon there was one time Gary and I got to the airport in Adelaide. We'd just finished a book tour and I was cooked and so was he. And the girl at the desk was so excited.
Yeah.
And we gave her fuck all.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't rude to her. But
you had that air of arrogance, maybe.
Yeah, I was just over it. Oh, fuck me. We've just been, you know. But I've gone, that poor girl, I'll never forget. And one day, hopefully, if I ever bump into her, I can give her a big hug and apologise. But, you know, there's moments like that where you go, you never, ever forget that you are fucking human.
Yeah.
Never forget that you have two hands. Yeah. You got to, you know, you are just like anyone else.
Yeah. As the old cliche says, we're all going to end up in the same place, right?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell us about your top before we move on. You know, what did you love about it? You know, obviously you made good friends out of it. You met a lot of people. What always fascinates me is, I mean, I love cooking, right? But I think, like, how much do these people have to cook, the contestants, you know, at home for them to be able to just quickly snap up? And what about the kids?
Oh, that was insane.
How does a 10-year-old know how to do what they did?
I think, you know what, the best series of Junior MasterChef was the first. After that, I didn't really enjoy it because other kids that saw the show that wanted to be on it, great, but their parents started coaching them.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And you lose that vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know, the whole idea of...
becomes rehearsed, you lose that sort of spontaneity,
the whole idea
the
of
organic sort of
MasterChef,
development. Yeah.
It was you come on and be you, cook you, talk about you, and, you know, hopefully the show, you come on that journey of development through the show, through the guest chefs, through us mentoring you, and we get you to a point where when you leave us, off you go and do amazing things. Yeah. And we're so proud of incredible... that 11 years the three of us were on it, there's some incredible success stories. Yeah. You know, I mean, it was on air on Channel 10. I did Hungry with Sarah Todd. She was a contestant from Series 3. Yeah. It was this weird moment where we're standing together doing the first episode and she's like, I remember she was saying recently in an interview, that first day was quite stressful because George was I was very quick to go, oi, we're together now. Like, you're just as powerful as I am. Yeah. There's no, you know, like, come on, let's go.